Oh, these are such good questions to practice with, especially the hard questions. Now, remember, when you're preparing for the SATs, you got to be a master of all the easy and medium level questions. And the big thing is not making careless errors, because with the easy, medium level questions, you want to be spending 30 seconds per question so that when you get into the hard questions, you're not being rushed and you can make decisions as to whether to work on a question or completely not work on it, because you are going to be in control. You don't need a perfect score to get awesome scholarships. You don't need perfect scores to get into awesome schools. What you do need to do is recognize your easy mediums, that's your bread and butter, and answer those questions correctly. And then you can focus on your hard questions, practicing leading up to the next exam. Hopefully, you got a good number of weeks to do so. Okay, let's take a look at this. We have x given to us, but remember, f of x always equals y. So these are also known as y coordinates or f of x coordinates. All right, that's one thing. Now we know they're giving us a -4 and a 0. So when x equals -4, y equals 0. And then we got that 19 over 5 and that 18 over 5, both negative numbers. And they're trying to freak us out with the fractions. But when you take the test several times, it's going to start to notice you got patterns. So I can use a -4 for this guy. What would be the next guy? If I took 19 divided by 5, it's going to give me a -3.8. The next one's going to be a -3.6 if you took -18 divided by 5. So notice the difference, right? The difference between the two, -4 and a -3.8 is going to be zero point 0.2. The absolute value difference between these two numbers is going to be a zero point 0.2 also. Now take a look at the y's. The absolute value difference between those two is 1. The absolute value difference between those two is 1. So you know what we're looking at? We're looking at your rise over run. Your rise over the run is your y value over your x value, right? So the absolute value difference is going to be 1 over zero point 0.2. You guys get that? And notice they're the same. So that means that this grid is linear. And if you're not sure, the startup to the question says for the linear function. Now we just identified why it's linear. For every increase of x, you have the same increase of y. That's what makes it linear. Now notice we get a 1 over zero point 0.2. What is 1 divided by zero point 0.2 if you use your calculator equals? It equals 5. So your slope, remember, your slope is rise over run. Your slope is actually going to be 5x. So this would be your slope for intercept formula is y equals 5x plus b. We don't know what the b is. But if we want to figure out what our b is, well, let's take our coordinate points that are given to us at the beginning. If x equals a -4, so what if I did 5 times a -4? And it's plus b, what would my y have to equal? My y would equal 0. So let's set it up. So 0 equals a -20 plus b. Therefore, b will equal, if we add 20 to both sides, 20. So the actual formula that I have, I just discovered my formula is, yes, I would do this during the test. Y equals 5x plus 20. That is the original formula of what they gave us in that grid. Now I can go into my question. Now, I have Gabby, Miss Desmos Queen, which she will be working with me for a good time during the rest of her school days to help other students with Desmos, because I hate using Desmos. I believe you guys should own these on paper. All right, now we have y equals 5x plus 20. Let's go into the question. The table shows 3 values of x and the corresponding values of y, or f of x. If h of x, now they're giving us another formula, h of x equals f of x minus 13, which equation defines h? Now, the original formula is f of x. So they're saying if we had the original formula, but we subtracted 13, all right, straight up, what are we going to subtract 13 from? We'll subtract it from our y-intercept. And our y-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b, our b value is 20. So what would happen if we subtracted 13 from that? What is 20 minus 13? That'll be a positive 7. So our new form is going to be y equals 5x plus 7, which is b. In and out the door. Ain't this easy? All right, I had to do all the explanation above so that you understand the big picture of what you're dealing with, and then everything becomes elementary, my dear Watson.